do I say goodbye to what we had? A good time that made us laugh outweigh the bad. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows the best, and in today's video, bringing you guys some news that I did not expect to wake up to today. I'm a little late to the party just because I've been busy this morning, but yeah, man, I'm sure all of you have heard by now, and if you haven't, I'm about to blow your mind. But Katushiro Harada, producer, director of the Tekken franchise, is stepping down. He's leaving Tekken. He's leaving Bandai Namco. He put out a statement today, earlier on Twitter, and I was honestly at a loss for words, man. So many people have expressed their thanks and their gratitude and like what he and his work have meant to them and everything in between. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's one of the things where like he ain't passed away, but it's just like it feel like we losing a legend, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he's gonna go on to do great things, whether it's just enjoy life with his family or work on other projects. But we're gonna read through the statement together and kind of just, you know, take a little walk down memory lane and talk and everything about what's going on here. So as you can see, straight from Katushiro Harada himself, I'd like to share that I'll be leaving Bandai Namco at the end of 2025. With the Tekken series reaching its 30th anniversary, an important milestone for a project I've devoted much of my life to, I felt this was the most fitting moment to bring one chapter to a close. I think the thing that surprised me the most about this and caught me off guard is that Harada had previously mentioned that he probably would be leaving, you know, Tekken and Bandai Namco in the near future. But he kind of alluded to, or maybe even outright said, I can't remember, it might have been in an interview or something he said on stage at a tournament that I was at, or maybe it was in a tweet, I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty certain he said something that like, you know, like he'd probably be leaving like at Tekken 9. Like I was under the impression that Tekken 9 would be the last project that Harada would work on, and then he probably would leave and go on to do whatever else. Never did I expect him to leave in the middle of Tekken 8's run. That certainly was not the case. Even if he wasn't going to be there for Tekken 9, if he was like, when Tekken 8 finally ends and we're on the verge of Tekken 9, he announces, oh, by the way, like, you know, this is it for me. So yeah, like I think there also was like some LinkedIn post or whatever that like kind of like alluded to the fact that like pseudo confirmed that he was leaving or stepping down, but this came as a huge shock to me, and I'm sure to a lot of you guys as well. He goes on to say, my roots lie in the days when I supported small local tournaments in Japanese arcades and in small halls and community centers overseas. I still remember carrying arcade cabinets by myself, encouraging people to please try Tekken, and directly facing the players right in front of me. Conversations and atmosphere we shared in those places became the core of who I am as a developer and game creator. And forgive me if I take these breaks and pauses in between reading the statement, because of course I got to chime in with my own experiences and remarks and everything, which is partially why you're here for this video, right? If you just want the link to the statement, you can just read it by yourself. You don't care about everything else I have to add to it. It'll be a link in the description down below. You can just read it in full and go on about your day. But if you do care about what I have to add, that much like himself, like I'm not who I am today without Tekken. I'm not the person in front of you today if it's not for the Tekken. Matter of fact, hold on real quick. Over here, like bro, you feel me? Like we Tekken and I go way back, from Tekken 1 to Tekken 2 and to Tekken 3. Tekken 3 was, for a very long time as a kid, my favorite video game, and Tekken 3 was the first ever fighting game that I ever played. It was my introduction to the Tekken franchise and to fighting games as a genre. And then after, you know, getting Tekken 3 and playing that and loving it so much, I went on to get Tekken 2 and Tekken 1 later down the line. And then of course, matter of fact, we can go through the whole thing, you feel me? Give me one moment. You know what I'm saying? Because we not new to this, we true to this. If we can take it all the way back, man. All the way back from Tekken 1 all the way up through Tekken 8. We got the whole thing. Tekken 1, 2, 3, Tekken Tag Tournament, 4, 5, 6, Tag 2, Tekken 7, and Tekken 8, which is Katushiro Harada's final project. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, Tekken 3 was the first one that he directed. It was my first Tekken game. It was his first Tekken game. This is where the Tekken franchise really took off. And this was a lot of people's first Tekken game. And to this day, it's probably still the most popular and best selling. It's one of the best selling like PlayStation 1 games of all time. And I think it's still the top selling Tekken game and among one of the best selling fighting games of all time. And for good reason. Like this Tekken 3 is legendary, bro. And you know, I've played and enjoyed Tekken for a very long time, and all the way from being just like a kid who didn't know what he was doing, just button mashing, into being an adult who's slightly better at button mashing to be honest. But like Tekken was my first ever fighting game, bro. It was my introduction to the genre. So I don't get into the things that I get into and create this channel and become who I am if it's not for Tekken. So I have the utmost respect and gratitude to Katsuhiro Harada and what he's done, and he's made a direct impact on my life. And like I said, I'm just not even in front of y'all today if it's not for him. Even as the times change, those experiences have remained at the center of my identity. And even after the tournament scene grew much larger, many of you continue to treat me like an old friend, challenging me at venues, inviting me out for drinks at bars. Those memories are also deeply precious to me. In recent years, I experienced the loss of several close friends in my personal life, and in my professional life, I witnessed the retirement or passing of many senior colleagues whom I deeply respect. Those accumulated events made me reflect on the time I have left as a creator. During that period, I sought advice from Ken Kutaragi, whom I respect as though he were another father, and received invaluable encouragement and guidance. His words quietly supported me in making this decision. And yeah, I've had the honor of meeting Harada at multiple events. I don't think I've ever actually taken a photo with him, unfortunately. And I actually was at the Tekken World Tour Finals in Japan this past year. And little did I know that might have been like my last chance to see him and get a photo or whatever. And yeah, well, now I kind of regret it because I'm not going to be at the World Tour Finals this year. I assume that he will be, but that's probably going to be the last time we see him at a tournament. Well, I don't know. It depends on what he does in the future, but that very well may be the last time we really see him in the public eye. Over the past 4 to 5 years, I've gradually handed over all of my responsibilities, as well as the stories and world building I oversaw, to the team, bringing me to the present day. Looking back, I was fortunate to work on an extraordinary variety of projects, VR titles such as Summer Lesson, Pokken Tournament, the Soul Calibur series, and many others, both inside and outside the company. That reminds me, like Soul Calibur 2, Soul Calibur was another game that I played. Hold on, real quick, because you know I got everything in this room, right? So Soul Calibur 3, another game that I played a ton as a kid, and Soul Calibur 3 was definitely my favorite one. And when Soul Calibur 6 came out, I was actually extremely excited about it, and I didn't stick to it for very long, admittedly. But like that first couple of months, like I was really into it, man. I really liked that game. And Soul Calibur is another franchise that I wouldn't say it means nearly as much to me as Tekken, but I definitely played my fair share of as a kid and got a lot of love for. Moving on, each project was full of new discoveries and learning, and every one of them became an irreplaceable experience for me. To everyone who has supported me, to communities around the world, and to all the colleagues who have walked alongside me for so many years, I offer my deepest gratitude. I'll share more about my next steps later, or I'll share more about my next steps at a later date. Thank you very much for everything. Postscript. Although I will be leaving the company at the end of 2025, Bandai Namco has asked me to appear at the TBT Finals at the end of January 2026, so I expect to attend as a guest. And I wish I could be there. I really do. For 30 years, I kept saying I'll do it someday, and never once performed as a DJ at a Tekken tournament event, which would have been sick. So instead, I will be releasing, for the first and last time, a 60-minute Tekken DJ-style non-stop mix, personally edited by myself, together with this announcement. Listening to it brings back many memories. Thank you again sincerely for all these years. Tekken, a 30-year journey, Harada's final mix by Katsuhiro. Why I'm getting goosebumps though? Like, why I'm getting chills? Why am I sad and chilly? December 8th, 2025, the final day of Tekken's 30th anniversary, Katsuhiro Harada. Like I said, it feels like he, you know what I'm saying? Like he gone. Like he ain't died. He's just moving, you know what I'm saying? Why I feel like, you know what I mean? But yeah, legendary producer, director, creator. Like I said, I have nothing but the utmost respect and gratitude for what Katsuhiro Harada has done. And even though, you know, the relationship with the franchise, and particularly with Tekken 8, has been tumultuous to say the least over the last couple of years, it's still always been a certain level of respect there, you know what I mean? And I'm also somebody who, hopefully like a lot of you has an understanding that everything that happens with Bandai Namco or even like Tekken, like is not the direct result of like Katsuhiro Harada and like his vision or his orders or his work, you know what I'm saying? There are certain things that are and are not within his control, and it's not like every single aspect and detail of everything ever like he had power over, you know what I mean? But he did obviously play a large factor, and I personally will choose to acknowledge all the good that came and attribute that and accredit that to him, as opposed to what could have or may have been part of things that we didn't enjoy so much, you know what I mean? And the beautiful thing about this as well is that when you scroll, and this is just the same text all over again in Japanese, I assume, when you see all these replies, you see Knee, Rip, Markman, Speed Kicks, K-Wiz, Feed, Dado, Omega. I haven't actually replied to it myself because frankly, I just didn't know what to say. And I turned on this camera. I was like, maybe if I turn on the camera, the word, because I'm freestyling right now, maybe it'll all just start, you know, coming to me as I'm reading it, whatever. But you know, everyone just telling them how grateful they are, thanking him for everything that he's done, what he has meant to them, what Tekken has meant to them, what it's done for them. Because for a lot of these guys, and myself included, it has been life-changing. Whether you got into Tekken with Tekken 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, doesn't, like, regardless of when you got into the franchise, it has been a life-altering experience in video game and franchise for a lot of people, you know what I mean? Whether they made a career out of playing in it and competing in it, commentating, creating YouTube content, or whether it just helped shape who they are as a person and it became a part of their personality as a fighting game enjoyer and lover and player, competitor, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? There are people who like myself got into fighting games because of Tekken. You know what I mean? This channel specifically wasn't built up off of Tekken, but I've created Tekken content for quite a while, and I might not even enjoy fighting games or be into that genre the way that I'm if it's not for Tekken first. You know what I mean? So yeah, just so much. So I just been sitting here looking at this stack of games, bro. I've told the story before as well, and I'm gonna just go ahead and tell it again. By the way, y'all peep the, you know what I'm saying, little Tekken hoodie, little Tekken Supreme action going on right here, you feel me? Just had to go ahead and throw that on in Harada's honor. But the first time I ever got something free from Bandai Namco was actually because of Tekken. There was a picture I took like 10 years ago now. I want to say it was literally like in 2015. You know, this is all my little combine of like sneakers and fashion photography thing with video games or whatever. And it's this picture that you see on screen right now, like me wearing my Bread Jordan 1s, like a bunch of Tekken games spread out in front of me, and like my PS2 or whatever. And that picture ended up going like, you know, light work, kind of semi-viral or whatever on Instagram and like blogs and stuff. It was getting reposted or whatever. And I remember there's this one really big page on Instagram that reposted it, and somebody at Bandai Namco saw it. It was the brand manager at the time, whose name was Mark, not Mark Mann, but a different Mark. And he saw the photo and he just thought it was really fire. He was also into sneakers and video games, and he's a big Tekken fan. And obviously he was working for Bandai Namco at the time. And he hit me up and was like, yo, bro, if there's like anything you ever need, you know, let me know, hit me up, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, basically I ended up, we chatted back and forth, and that's how I ended up getting into Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, right? Which became one of my all-time favorite games. But it's because of Tekken, you know what I mean? And little did I know that was the start of me building some sort of like relationship or rapport with Bandai Namco and going on to, you know what I'm saying, do other things or whatever. But like, yeah, it's just funny how things work out. And it started with Tekken, bro. So, I don't really know what happens next with Tekken. Like, who knows how much things change? Like, obviously Tekken 8 is already a big step from Tekken 7 in a lot of ways, for better or worse. You know, I will say things are definitely trending in the right direction, in my opinion, right now with Tekken 8. Like, even though the patches that we gotten recently have been very small, they're going in a good place, IMO. But where things go from here on out with season 3 moving forward, who knows? How much involvement has he had up to this point? And I guess he'll have no involvement post season 3, right? And you know, so what happens to the rest of this game and the series and this franchise moving forward? I guess only time will tell. It's daunting. It's exciting in one sense. It's very sad in another, because it's like, well, who knows where things are gonna go, and hopefully they go someplace good. You know, it's gonna be weird not seeing Michael Murray and Harada at tournaments anymore, and like being on stage together for announcements, and you know, I guess there's still Nakatsu and everything, and I don't really know who exactly is stepping into his place and like serving as his roles as like executive producer and director and everything like that. But yeah, like I said, only time will tell. Words can't even begin to express how grateful I am for what Katushiro Harada has done with the Tekken franchise, and for it getting me into fighting games and everything that it's done for me in my life, and even for me as a creator. Because again, like I've seen success with Tekken content, YouTube and Twitch, and you know, I have him to partially thank for that, for, you know, getting me into this franchise. So yeah, man, I don't have a whole lot else to say other than I wish him well on his journey in life, and whatever it is that he does next, whether that's working on a different fighting game, going to a different company, whether that's working on something else completely altogether, whether it be art, music, something else in the gaming sphere, whatever the case may be, or even if it's just him, like I said, retiring and just hanging out and enjoying life with his family, because I think he's earned that. With that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all that content when I bring you. With all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today, and remember, let's get happy to swing the bat. Later.